we'll have him brought back out if they say that he can be brought back out, and then you can give your victim impact. I know that no one, at least I have yet to have someone come before me and say my intention was to get drunk and go out and hit somebody, but it happens. If you're going to be drinking at all, even if you think it's just going to be one drink, it's better just to have a designated driver, right? I do appreciate the fact that you entered a plea, that you accepted responsibility by pleading guilty, and that you have not wavered and try to blame something else for this. You know it's true, and I appreciate that.
This hearing is one that really stays with you. Today, we're watching Judge Boyd sentence a military veteran whose decision behind the wheel ended in tragedy. The moment she announces an 18-year prison sentence, you can see the weight of it hit him all at once. Emotional reactions in court aren't unusual, but seeing someone physically collapse changes the atmosphere instantly. Within seconds, the sentencing hearing turns into a medical emergency, and you can tell everyone in the courtroom understands how serious the moment has become. It's a powerful reminder that courtrooms aren't just about laws and legal paperwork. They're filled with real people whose lives can change forever in a matter of seconds. What do you think? Is there ever a sentence that truly feels like justice in a case like this? Let's get into it.
This is Marlon Daniels. Can I have parties announced for the record
Megan Galloway for state.
and for the defense?
George Sharman on behalf of the defendant in these cases.
All right, and you're Mr. Daniels?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Daniels, the court, at the request of your attorney, had a PSI ordered. And Mr. Daniels, we're going to proceed with sentencing. And each of the cause numbers, you entered a plea of guilty, and the punishment is to be assessed at 18 years in the prison. Mr. Daniels, I've had a chance to learn more about your background from your attorney, your military service. And I will tell you, I know that no one, at least I have yet to have someone come before me and say my intention was to get drunk and go out and hit somebody. Nobody ever intends to drive intoxicated or get to that point, but it happens. And that's why I always try to stress to everybody, please, please, if you're going to be drinking at all, even if you think it's just going to be one drink, it's better just to have a designated driver, right? I do appreciate the fact that you entered a plea, that you accepted responsibility by pleading guilty, and that you have not wavered and try to blame something else for this. I do note that you said that you couldn't remember, but you know it's true. And I appreciate that. Sometimes people will say, well, I don't remember what happened, so I'm really not responsible. But you didn't do that. And the fact that you entered a plea, and in each of these cause numbers, you were looking at 20 years. And I always tell people, when people go to jury trial, even when I was a defense attorney or as a prosecutor, I sometimes would have to explain to families, you don't know what 12 people are going to do, right? When you go to jury trial, you don't know. 12 people could say, you know what? This person before me is a military veteran. This person before me hasn't been in trouble. Yes, they did this, but we're not going to give them 18 years. Who knows? A jury may decide to have given you 2 years or 3 or 4 or whatever. You just never know. So for you to accept responsibility, for you to take the 18 years, knowing that by taking these 18 years, there is no appeal because you waived your right to appeal, I think that says a lot, even though I know that the family is in a lot of pain, because when you lose someone and you lose someone this way, it's not expected.
This is the point where Judge Boyd brings up something many people don't think about until they're facing it themselves. The risk of taking a case to a jury when the maximum sentence is 20 years. Deciding whether to accept a plea agreement becomes one of the most important choices a defendant can make. Some defendants hope their personal history or background will influence how a jury sees them. In this case, Some jurors may focus on his military service, while others may concentrate on the fact that someone lost their life. That's the uncertainty Judge Boyd is referring to. By accepting a plea, a defendant gains certainty, even if the outcome is still incredibly difficult. Judge Boyd also recognizes that he accepted responsibility for what happened, and she acknowledges that during sentencing. At the same time, accepting responsibility doesn't erase the loss suffered by the victim's family or the seriousness of the offense. It's a tragic situation where there simply isn't a good outcome for anyone involved.
The court is recognizing that you accepted responsibility and you took close to the maximum sentence in each of the cause numbers. With that being said, and cause number 2024 CR 009218, the court will follow your plea bargain agreement as previously stated. When you entered your plea, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 18 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The court will give you credit for any time served, and legally, you're entitled to any time that you have served on this case. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 009219. I'll request the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community doesn't increase the time that you're in custody. It's merely designed to help you maintain your sobriety, address any type of mental health or substance abuse issues you may have, so that ultimately when you're released from prison and there's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon.
May I address the court on a matter?
Just one moment.
Yes.
And cause number 2024 CR 009219, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 18 years, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 009218. There is to be restitution of $60 to DPS for testing. And the court will recommend the therapeutic community. There's something you wish to say, counsel?
Yes, on the PSI, it said that he had combat risen. He did not have combat treatment. So that was erroneous.
Okay.
Step number 2, it shows there were 2 prior misdemeanors. There was only 1. And if you look at it, it's the same date.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
That's all we have.
All right, Mr. Daniels. Deputy Laura, if you'll give him his trial court certification. All right. Counsel.
Yes.
All right, your client has been removed from the courtroom. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with him?
I did.
All right. On the record, the court informed the defendant that by entering the plea, he had waived his right to appeal, so he acknowledged that. I followed the plea bargain agreement. So because I followed his plea bargain agreement and because he's waived his right to appeal, he do not have the court's permission to appeal.
I went over that with him, Judge, so he understands.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else from either side?
Well, Judge, I don't know if Mr. Chevron wanted to bring this to your attention, but because the defendant is going to be in custody, I did see that he filed motions to remove the ignition and the locks. Your motions to...
Yes, she's already signed.
Oh, yes, I signed those, yes.
Objection to that.
All right, thank you.
And that we do have victim impact, but I'm...
All right, so who are the people here for victim impact?
That's the father...
Okay.
Father and husband of the victims, and then the brother and sister.
Okay. All right. So everyone, just give us a moment. We're going to have medical check him out to see what's going on. And then if you will be patient, we'll have him brought back out if they say that he can be brought back out. And then you can give your victim impact.
The closing moments of this hearing are especially difficult to watch. Even without seeing the collapse itself, it's a reminder of how quickly a single decision can change multiple lives forever. It's heartbreaking for the victim's family, and it's also a devastating outcome for the defendant, whose life changed because of one terrible mistake. He was a military veteran and a father, but the court also had a responsibility to recognize the permanent harm caused by the offense and protect the community. Judge Boyd didn't appear driven by anger. Instead, She focused on applying the law while acknowledging both the accountability shown by the defendant and the irreversible loss experienced by the victim's loved ones. Many people are surprised that even first-time offenders can receive lengthy prison sentences in fatal DUI cases. But the lasting consequences often play a major role in sentencing decisions. Cases like this remind us that there are no real winners, only lives permanently changed by one tragic event. What do you think? Was an 18-year sentence appropriate? Or do you believe there could have been a better resolution? Share your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.